Now, back to the show. My first guest, and I go, man, we go back a long way before I even had the show. In fact, I think I just completed, or I might not even have completed my first book, How to Survive the Next 365. She is a great writer, a phenomenal person just in a whole. And tonight, she's here to talk about her newest conquest, her book, Rise Above the Clouds, Where the Sun is Always, and I do mean always shining. Please, without further ado, please welcome Miss Ivy Zita Hall. Ivy, welcome, sister.
Thank you. Thank you, Clark.
How are things with you to say, we share something in common. We're both now married. How about
that? Yes, and marriage is awesome when you do it God's way, so.
Yeah, exactly. Do it His way and it works out.
That's right.
Well, listen, it's always wonderful to have here, my good friends, to be part of this program, and I'm so happy to finally have you on. You are one of a rare breed of people who actually set their minds to do something, and then you actually do it. So I want to say I'm so proud that you've been able to complete this book.
Thank you.
What were some of the bumps along the way for you as a writer?
Well, this particular book I wrote in 2009, and I don't know about other writers, but for me, this book in the beginning was like a purge. It was going through something, and it all just came out. But I wasn't really satisfied with that, and so I wanted to make sure that the message came out rather than emotions or what have you. And so that's very important to me in my writing, that the message comes out. So just making sure that I kept myself in a space where I could hear, from God and what He was telling me and the message that He wanted to bring forth through me. So I think that was an obstacle for me, and I still have to, constantly stay focused. So.
Well, we all do. How long has writing been a passion for you, Ivy?
Wow. I remember as a young child, we all keep journals, but then I started writing poems. I remember in grammar school writing a poem from after reading the book Black Boy. And I wrote a poem and was actually in a contest and won from my school and all that. And it was kind of like from that moment, I knew that I really enjoyed expressing myself through writing, and it just kind of took off.
Wow. Well, you figured out you got a natural knack for it, huh?
Right. But during those times, you don't really kind of go in that direction. You allow other things to tell you what you should be and dictate kind of who you are, and that's kind of like what my book is about, detaching yourself from all those things that try to dictate who you are and try to define who you will be, and just allow yourself to be molded by God and say, okay, what is my purpose? Who am I destined to be? Let me, not, be defined by those things, not allow myself to be attached and brought down, but let me rise up, and find out who I'm truly should be, in truth. So.
Well, that's a perfect segue into my next question. The book, your book, Rise Above the Cloud, deals with becoming aware of one's thoughts, behaviors, and patterns, as you said. Now, you also go on to talk about how we can learn to detach ourselves from these things to discover who we really are. How does that process actually work?
For me, it was becoming aware of myself, kind of doing some self-evaluation, looking within and saying, let me kind of analyze what's been going on. Let me look at my situation. Let me look at, what I really want to do, in the quietness, of the night, if I'm lying in my bed and, I'm having those thoughts when nobody's, kind of talking to you in your ear and saying you should do this or this is who you are and all that, who is Ivy, and what would she like in a perfect world? What would she like to be? What would she like to do? What is meaningful to her? And I had to ask myself those questions and kind of look and say, well, am I doing any of those things? What have I allowed to take me away from those things and say I can't, fill in the blank, whatever that is. And then kind of make a decision, is it worth it?